Ian Garry is able to keep it on the feet, and Ian gonna have an edge, you know, so it's gonna be interesting.
Ian has chances, you mean, to beat Islam?
Yeah.
It's a fight business. Everyone has chances. Everyone, and especially someone like Ian. Like, he's been able to collect a lot of experience.
Strickland pulled it off against Chimaev. Gaethje just pulled off the impossible against Ilia Topuria. And you're telling me that I shouldn't pick Ian Machado Garry to defeat Islam Makhachev in the main event and school him over 5 rounds? Come on!
Islam Makhachev is set to make his first welterweight title defense, and it won't be an easy task as he faces off against the significantly larger Ian Machado Garry. Analysts are highlighting Garry's size as a potential major challenge, with many experts meticulously analyzing how it could push Makhachev to his limits early on in his welterweight career.
Islam Makhachev, Ian Machado Garry, August 15th, Philadelphia, UFC 330 main event, Xfinity Mobile Arena. There you have it. It is a done deal. The painful wait for Ian Machado Garry is over. The nonsense of, is it gonna be Morales? Is it gonna be this guy? Is he moving up? No, it was always gonna be Ian. It was gonna be Ian in Miami in April. That didn't pan out. It was gonna be Ian from the get-go, and now we finally have the confirmation. It's Ian Machado Garry finally getting a chance.
Georges St-Pierre views this as a traditional striker versus grappler matchup, highlighting Garry's effective stand-up skills, but emphasizing that Islam Makhachev's clearest advantage lies in his wrestling abilities. According to St-Pierre, if Garry can keep the fight standing, he may be able to gain momentum, but once the fight goes to the ground, the advantage significantly shifts in favor of Makhachev.
I think Ian is a good choice to test Islam, who will be going for his 17th straight UFC win, trying to break Anderson Silva's record, which he's currently tied with.
Oh wow, yeah, that's wow. I think it's gonna be a good fight. Ian Garry, it's definitely a tough opponent, very good striker. But Islam once again, his goal gonna be to bring the fight to the ground, and I think if he's able to do that, he's gonna have an edge. If Ian Garry is able to keep it on the feet, and Ian gonna have an edge, you know, so it's gonna be interesting.
Do you see Islam giving like a lot of problems?
Georges St-Pierre also emphasizes Islam Makhachev's overall completeness, highlighting his seamless blend of striking, grappling, and control. He suggests that even dangerous welterweights like Ian Garry, Morales, and Prades would struggle to match Islam Makhachev's ability to dictate every phase of a fight.
It's like currently the top guys are Ian Garry, Michael Morales, Carlos Praches, all who are very dangerous in their own ways, but it seems like, you know, skill for skill, Islam has the ground edge over all of them. It's just, can he continue to level up on these guys?
Yeah, I think Islam has the edge in terms of skills, because he's more well-rounded. He can do it all, and he, especially with his grappling, he's got an edge in that department, and I think that's what he's gonna try to go for when he fights one of these guys.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how far he can go. If he can hit 20 UFC wins, that's another thing I never thought, like in a row, that I never thought I'd see in my lifetime, just because so many crazy things can happen. You can suffer an injury in the fight, you can get screwed by the judges, like there's a million things. So to do it that consistently is like one of the more impressive things I think I've seen in the sport.
Offering a different perspective, Ilia Topuria sees Ian Machado Garry as a live contender against Islam Makhachev. He stresses that every top fighter has a legitimate shot in elite matchups, highlighting Garry's UFC experience and consistent growth as factors that could realistically pose a threat in the fight.
Garry, do you see him as a big threat to that fight between you and Islam, if Machado Garry were to beat him?
If Ian has chances, you mean to beat Islam?
Yeah.
It's a fight business. Everyone has chances. Everyone, and especially someone like Ian. He's been able to collect a lot of experience during his run in the UFC, and why not? I see him with a lot of chances.
Yeah.
And Islam, we already saw him like getting knocked out in a fight. And why not?
Usman Nurmagomedov reinforces Islam Makhachev's dominance, describing him as the best fighter in the world, citing his consistency and record-setting run. he believes another win, this time at welterweight, would further solidify his position in all-time discussions.
Fighting Ian Garry in August, that's a very interesting fight too. And I think, if he beats these welterweights, a few of them, like, he's maybe the best fighter we've ever seen.
My opinion, yes, Islam is like best fighter in the world right now, and like what he doing, like nobody can do. Like even he now breaking the records, like how he Anderson Silva.
Yeah, he's tied at 16. So next one if he wins, he'll have 17 and he'll have the record by himself.
Yes. Can you imagine? That, brother?
Yeah. No, I keep saying if he gets to 20.
Kamaru Usman recognizes Ian Machado Garry as a top-level contender, but he has doubts about Garry's readiness to face the full range of skills that Islam Makhachev brings to the table. According to Usman, Makhachev's exceptional wrestling, grappling control, and ability to dominate fights on the ground will pose significant challenges for Garry. While Garry's striking skills and overall talent are undeniable, Usman believes that Makhachev's well-rounded game makes this matchup extremely tough and highly competitive.
Arms, his legs, now he's big. Now he doesn't cut too much weight and he feel good.
Yeah. Do you think Ian can do anything to challenge him, or do you see this as a pretty dominant fight for him?
Ian Garry is a top guy, and of course he can do something, but I think he's not gonna be prepared for everything, like striking, grappling, wrestling. We know Ian Garry have like a problem with the wrestling. It's grappling, like Islam have a very good control in the ground and very good wrestling, how to take the guy to on the ground, and he have like good striking. No, very good fight. My opinion is gonna be huge fight. We will see. It's gonna be middle of August.
Meanwhile, Usman has taken notice of Islam's physical transformation since moving to welterweight, observing that he now appears stronger and more at ease, with less strain from weight cuts, which could potentially make him an even more formidable opponent.
Comfortable at welterweight now going into this fight? I know the weight at the beginning of the last camp, it was kind of a challenge to keep it on. Does he seem like a real true welterweight now?
Me or Islam?
Islam.
Yes, he's big now. Last time when I did with him sparring, it was so hard because he's really...
Dan Hardy echoes the difficulty of the matchup, specifically citing Islam Makhachev's Dagestani wrestling system as incredibly difficult to replicate in training. He argues that Ian Machado Garry would need to inflict significant damage early or risk being controlled for all 5 rounds.
Islam Makhachev versus Ian Machado Garry. What do you make of that matchup?
That's a great fight. Look, it's a great fight. Ian Garry for a long time has been saying that, he is the future. Obviously, it's his nickname. Like, he sees himself as being there with the belt. He's visualized it, but now he's got Makhachev in the division. And I mean, Makhachev's got the kryptonite for every single person in the division. No matter where the fight goes, he's got the skills to challenge you and to cause you issues. Like, of course, since Ian Garry's, been spending time in Brazil, been working on his jiu-jitsu, he's going to be far more confident in his ground game.
Dan Hardy elaborated, explaining that Islam Makhachev's style is incredibly difficult to replicate in training. He attributed this to the immense pressure and the elite wrestling culture originating from Dagestan, a system known for consistently producing high-level grapplers. Hardy emphasized that Makhachev sits at the very pinnacle of this group. He warned that striking-based fighters, such as Ian Machado Garry, would need to inflict significant damage early in a fight, rather than settling for a slow, technical pace. Otherwise, they risk being controlled and outworked as the bout progresses.
You're going to be able to replicate what Islam Makhachev can do to you. I think you would have to be in the wrestling room in Dagestan to really feel that kind of pressure. And what you got to remember is, like, that room right now, we keep signing a bunch of guys from Khabib's team. They're all like cookie cutter versions of each other. They're all lethal. They've all got great wrestling. They've all got that pressure style with good punching and kicking now. You know what I mean? Like, there's a really elite level in that gym. And Makhachev's at the top of that pile. Like, everybody in that gym is working towards where he is, and everybody in that gym's a killer. Like, I just don't know if you're gonna be able to find the same kind of look that you're going to need to be able to deal with Makhachev. And I think now he's moved up to welterweight, I just think he looks physically so much healthier and stronger. You know, Ian Garry's a slick striker, but he needs to damage Makhachev. He can't play the 25 minutes of picking and poking because Makhachev will get.
Carlos Prates leans towards Islam Makhachev, citing his elite status as a double champion. However, Prates still sees Ian Machado Garry as a live underdog, fully capable of delivering an upset. Prates elaborated, stating, "Of course, I think Islam Makhachev will win. Makhachev is a double champion, a very good player. Ian Garry is the underdog, but I really believe Ian has a very good ability to beat Makhachev." Offering a more open-ended perspective, MMA Guru moves beyond the certainty of Islam Makhachev's dominance. Instead, he entertains the possibility of Ian Machado Garry pulling off a significant upset. He points to recent surprise results across the sport as proof that momentum can swing dramatically in elite matchups. He also adds that another dominant victory for Islam Makhachev would only strengthen his case in GOAT-level discussions.
Versus Garry. Ian Garry gets the title shot, despite him being against the odds. Because we know Islam Makhachev's going to be a favorite here. Maybe, just maybe, the Boys & Co do it again. Okay? Hear me out. Strickland pulled it off against Chimaev. Gaethje just pulled off the impossible against Ilia Topuria. And you're telling me that I shouldn't pick Ian Machado Garry to defeat Islam Makhachev in the main event and school him over 5 rounds? Come on! This is how it works, right? This is just the way things go, folks. I don't make the rules of MMA. I really don't. But there's an underdog there. And his name's Ian Machado Garry. And he should lose. And Islam Makhachev's on this GOAT horizon. And man, if he wins this one, we may have to have some uncomfortable conversations about the GOAT list.
Building on this idea, Guru is actually backing Garry as a live underdog to defeat Islam Makhachev, citing Garry's skill set as a potential catalyst for a major upset. According to Guru, this bout represents a fascinating stylistic and cultural clash between Dagestan and Ireland, making it one of the most intriguing high-level matchups currently available.
We've heard it all before. He's in a caucus. He can't be beaten, even though this one's been beaten before. I've seen this guy flatline KO'd, okay? And I'm not supposed to pick Ian Machado Garry here. I'm picking Ian Garry! Oh. I never thought I'd say those words. But god damn it, I'm picking Ian Garry. And I'm picking Ian Garry to win the world championship, dude. It's McGregor versus Khabib, part 2. Dagestan versus Ireland. A matchup of the ages. They're running it back. This is a very interesting match.
Let's break down the matchup from a fundamental perspective. According to Javier Mendez, Garry's unpredictable striking could be a threat early on in the stand-up. However, once the fight hits the ground, Mendez believes Islam Makhachev's control becomes nearly insurmountable, forcing Garry to focus solely on survival as Makhachev takes the dominant position.
He does well with Islam on the stand-up because he's rangy, he's tricky, all those, but on the ground he doesn't. He does okay, but he doesn't survive on the ground, I don't think. I mean, well, okay, he might survive 5 rounds, but he won't get the best of Islam on the ground. That I'm 100% sure about that. On the stand-up, he's pretty tricky. So one punch can change everything on that. One kick, one punch, one knee. You know, so that's a different story. But on the ground, I don't see him dominating. I see him surviving possibly. So yeah, I could see that. And then the takedown defense that he has is decent, but not great enough to stop Islam from taking him down. But again, you know, sometimes we'll go in there and we'll decide that we're gonna do this with Islam, and next thing you know, next round we'll say, okay, take him down now, or next thing you know, next round we'll go stand up, because he's that good. So we're not looking at going in any specific game plan for anybody, because he's...
From a broader analytical perspective, another MMA expert suggests that the upcoming fight may be more competitive than many fans think. They point out that Garry presents stylistic challenges that are often underappreciated, citing Islam Makhachev's relatively early stage in his welterweight career and lack of experience against a fully sized, well-rounded opponent in the division. Garry's advantages, including his length, physical strength, and defensive wrestling skills could potentially pose significant challenges to Makhachev in uncharted territory.
Islam Makhachev versus Ian Garry was just announced as the main event for UFC 330, and I know a lot of people think this is going to be another easy 5-round grappling clinic for Islam Makhachev, but I'm telling you, there are some details that most people are missing because Ian Machado Garry poses a very serious problem for Islam Makhachev. The thing that almost nobody is accounting for is that this is Islam's only second fight at welterweight, and it was against a smaller welterweight in Jack Della Maddalena. So now this is basically his first fight against a real welterweight in his career. Could cause some problems with the physicality, the wrestling, and so on.
However, Sean Brady presented a far more decisive take, firmly backing Islam Makhachev to dominate the matchup. He believes Islam's relentless grappling pressure and control would overwhelm Garry, leading to a one-sided performance.
Rumors materialize, it will be at UFC 330 in Philly.
Yeah.
Are we trying to make a turnaround to get on that card and be on the same card as the title fight? And if it does happen, who do you think wins?
Win that fight. Islam is going to run through Ian. Simple as that. He's gonna sub him. For sure.
A common prediction suggests that, should he win his next fight, Islam Makhachev will decisively run through Ian Garry, securing a submission victory. Shifting into stylistic discussion, Brett Okamoto highlights his strong interest in Garry as a legitimate puzzle for Makhachev. Okamoto acknowledges Garry's inconsistencies and moments of vulnerability, yet contends that his conditioning, fight IQ, and technical striking position him as one of the division's more complex stylistic challenges.
Being the next contender for the welterweight division, and how much of a chance do you give him against Islam Makhachev?
I actually am super intrigued by that fight. Yeah, I think Ian Machado Garry has had some fights that have not been the most exciting. Obviously, there have been a few of them where the fans have been booing in the arena, and then Carlos Prates almost got him late in that fight. But I think that Ian, because of the cardio and the experience and the fight intelligence and just the technicality of what he does, I think he's probably the toughest fight in welterweight for.
Nick Barnhill echoes this sentiment, highlighting Garry's ascent and disciplined approach to becoming a title contender, deeming him a worthy challenger. He cites Garry's strong jab, effective range management, and high fight IQ as key attributes that could potentially disrupt Islam Makhachev's timing. Barnhill also notes that the bout can be seen as a symbolic clash between Ireland and Dagestan, while nonetheless acknowledging Islam as the most well-rounded fighter in the division.
With Islam Makhachev versus Ian Garry, Ian is the right guy to get in there versus Islam. I think that, he's done enough. He has a head-to-head win over Carlos Prates, who in my mind is one step above Michael Morales, just as far as strength of schedule goes. But Ian Garry, aside from the Shavkat fight, has looked perfect, and he hasn't had an easy road to get to the top of the division. So this fight not only reminds me of Conor versus Khabib for the geographical, location of where both of these people come from. I think there is a real beef and a feud between Ireland and Dagestan as far as MMA is concerned. And this one is definitely an interesting fight because we know Islam's the most complete fighter in the UFC, but Ian Garry's game planning and fight IQ takes him up a notch as far as difficulty to beat. He's got a frame that's very hard to close distance on, and not only that, his ability to maintain range is really good. He stays behind a jab. He's very...
Expanding on the broader landscape, the Barnhill brothers propose that the sport may be on the cusp of an underdog era, where strikers are increasingly gaining the upper hand over grappling-oriented champions. This potential shift in momentum could pave the way for a fighter like Ian Machado Garry to claim a title, particularly as recent outcomes continue to disrupt traditional hierarchies of dominance.
I don't know if you realized, are squarely in the middle of underdog season in the UFC right now.
That's right.
It's underdog summer, if you will, in the UFC.
If Ian Garry was an American, I'd be saying at this point, after Sean Strickland and Justin Gaethje, their last two performances, that Ian Garry's for sure going to leave with that world title.
Well, he is a striker.
Yeah.
And if you look at what strikers are doing against grapplers right now, you look at the champs, you go from Josh Van on up, it used to be not that long ago, it was extremely grappling heavy. Islam was the champ at 155. You had Marab, keep going and up the pecking order, and it was a lot of grappling heavy guys. Now, when you get to the heavier weight classes, you get your Aspinalls, who I guess you could make an argument.
The debate surrounding Islam Makhachev versus Ian Machado Garry continues to intensify, with opinions split between dominant grappling control and a potential striking upset. The actual outcome of this welterweight matchup now remains to be seen.